The truth about nuts after 65, what no one told you could be harming your heart, brain, and body. You grab a handful of nuts thinking you're making a smart, healthy choice. They're natural, they're crunchy, they're praised on every heart health blog and aging well guide. But what if that handful, innocent as it seems, is quietly working against your body, especially after the age of 65? It may sound shocking, even a little unbelievable, but mounting research shows that not all nuts are created equal when it comes to senior health. In fact, some of the most popular nuts, yes, even the ones recommended in low-carb diets or found in healthy snack packs, could be doing more harm than good for aging hearts, vulnerable brains, sensitive blood sugar levels, and even your risk of inflammation or medication interaction. A recent study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology revealed that certain nut consumption patterns in seniors may be linked to up to a 48% increase in cardiovascular risk. That's not a typo, and it's not just about salt or calories. It's about what specific compounds inside certain nuts are doing inside your body. If you're over 65 or love someone who is, this is a message you can't afford to ignore. In this comprehensive guide, we'll uncover the 4 most powerful nuts you should be eating daily to protect your brain, bones, blood vessels, and bowel health. You'll learn about key nutrients like selenium, magnesium, plant-based omega-3s, and antioxidant polyphenols that can actually reverse age-related damage when consumed in the right form and amount. But we won't stop there, because we'll also reveal the 4 nuts you need to limit or eliminate altogether. Not because they're inherently bad, but because they can interact with common medications, spike blood sugar, clog arteries, weaken kidney function, or worsen inflammation, all major concerns after 60. Each section is rooted in the latest nutritional science, real-world studies, and includes clear, actionable steps for choosing, storing, and eating nuts the right way. So if your legs have felt weaker lately, if your sleep isn't what it used to be, if you've noticed brain fog, digestive issues, or a few stubborn pounds that won't go away, the answer might be sitting right there in your snack bowl. This is not just about food, it's about knowledge. And knowledge gives you power. Power to prevent disease, power to make smarter choices, power to age with strength, clarity, and dignity. Stay with us until the end, because the last nut on our must-avoid list contains a truth so rarely discussed. It may be the most important dietary change you make this year. There's a quiet epidemic among older adults, one that rarely gets discussed until it becomes a crisis: brittle bones. After 65, the risk of fractures rises dramatically, especially in the hips, spine, and wrists. But did you know that a simple handful of almonds each day could help rewrite that story? Almonds are not just a crunchy snack, they're a bone-supporting powerhouse packed with nutrients that most seniors are missing. Rich in calcium, magnesium, and vitamin E, almonds offer a triple layer of protection that reinforces bone density, supports neuromuscular function, and fights oxidative damage. Let's break that down. First, calcium. Everyone knows it's essential for bones, but most seniors aren't getting enough, either from their diet or supplements. A quarter cup of almonds provides nearly 100 milligrams of calcium in a highly absorbable form. But what makes almonds especially powerful is that they don't just deliver calcium, they help you use it. That's where magnesium comes in. Magnesium is like a delivery truck, ensuring that calcium goes to the bones, not the arteries. It helps prevent dangerous calcification in soft tissue, a risk that increases with age. And yet, magnesium is one of the most common nutrient deficiencies among older adults. Almonds quietly help correct that. Then comes vitamin E, an antioxidant that protects bone-forming cells and helps fight chronic inflammation, a hidden driver of osteoporosis. But vitamin E in almonds doesn't work alone. When you eat almonds with the skin on, you get flavonoids, plant compounds that work synergistically with vitamin E to amplify its benefits, especially for aging brain and bone tissue. And it doesn't stop at bone health. Almonds support your digestive system too. Constipation affects up to 40% of adults over 65, and the 3.5 grams of fiber in a single serving of almonds can gently improve regularity without harsh laxatives. This is crucial for nutrient absorption, immune support, and daily comfort. Almonds also help regulate cholesterol, thanks to their high levels of monounsaturated fats, which reduce LDL, bad cholesterol and support cardiovascular health. When you're protecting your bones, don't forget, you're also protecting your heart. How to eat almonds safely and smartly after 65. Choose raw or dry roasted almonds without added salt or sugar. Eat 15 to 20 almonds daily, ideally with a meal to aid digestion. Chew thoroughly to reduce choking risk and improve nutrient absorption, especially important for those with swallowing difficulty. Select whole almonds with skin, as the flavonoids reside mostly in the outer layer. For an even greater impact, consider pairing almonds with other calcium-rich foods like leafy greens or sesame seeds, or enjoy them with a piece of fruit to enhance magnesium absorption. While almonds are busy building your bones, there's another nut that's quietly working to protect something even more fragile: your brain. Some say nature leaves clues. If that's true, walnuts might be one of its greatest hints. With their folds and curves so eerily similar to the human brain, walnuts don't just look the part, they play it. After 65, cognitive decline becomes a growing concern. Memory lapses, slower processing, reduced focus, they sneak in quietly, but they're not inevitable. And one of the most potent protectors of the aging brain may be sitting right in your pantry. Walnuts are uniquely rich in alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that supports brain cell membranes and enhances neurotransmission. Omega-3s are essential for cognitive function, yet most seniors get far too little of them, especially if fish is no longer a regular part of the diet. Walnuts offer a convenient, plant-friendly solution, but that's only the beginning. Walnuts contain a rare set of polyphenolic compounds that can cross the blood-brain barrier, a critical trait that allows them to directly reduce inflammation inside neural tissue. This matters because chronic inflammation is now understood to be one of the core drivers of age-related cognitive decline, including conditions like Alzheimer's and vascular dementia. In one major study published in the Journal of Nutrition, adults over 60 who consumed just 1.5 ounces of walnuts daily for 8 weeks showed measurable improvements in processing speed and mental flexibility, two key markers of brain agility and executive function. Walnuts also contain melatonin, the sleep-regulating hormone that diminishes with age. A small handful in the evening may not only improve brain protection, but also support better sleep cycles, which in turn enhance memory consolidation and emotional balance. And let's not forget the heart-brain connection. Walnuts provide arginine, an amino acid that helps maintain healthy blood vessels and improves circulation. Better circulation means better oxygen and nutrient delivery to your brain, a key to keeping your mind sharp and alert. How to eat walnuts for brain benefits. After 65, 7 to 9 walnut halves per day is ideal, enough to gain benefits without excess calories. Keep them refrigerated to preserve delicate omega-3 oils. Choose unsalted, unroasted varieties for maximum nutritional integrity. Crack them yourself if possible. It's not only fun, but also a gentle hand exercise that supports dexterity and joint health. A slight bitterness in walnuts isn't a flaw, it's a natural sign of their antioxidant richness. And that rich flavor is your body's reminder, this is food made for your brain. Walnuts are nature's gift to your brain, but what about the rest of your body? If you're managing blood pressure, blood sugar, or worried about vision changes, there's another nut that's surprisingly powerful and often overlooked. Among the rainbow of nuts available to snack on, pistachios often get overlooked, especially by older adults who tend to reach for almonds or walnuts first. But when it comes to protecting your heart, eyes, and blood pressure, pistachios might just be the sleeper superfood you didn't know you needed. Packed with potassium, fiber, healthy fats, and a unique blend of plant antioxidants, pistachios offer a triple benefit that aligns perfectly with the needs of aging bodies. Let's start with one of the most widespread concerns after 65, high blood pressure. Pistachios boast a potassium to sodium ratio that rivals even bananas. Just 1 ounce, around 49 pistachios, delivers 285 milligrams of potassium, an essential mineral that helps counteract the sodium that often sneaks into aging kidneys and tightens blood vessels. In fact, studies show that pistachio consumption may reduce systolic blood pressure by 3 to 5 points, a result comparable to some low-dose medications. That's not all. Pistachios are one of the only nuts that contain lutein and zeaxanthin, two carotenoids that specifically protect the macula, the part of the eye responsible for central vision. As age-related macular degeneration becomes the leading cause of vision loss among older adults, these compounds become absolutely vital. Pistachios offer an edible defense against that slow, silent decline. Their benefits extend to blood sugar too. Despite their naturally sweet flavor, pistachios are low on the glycemic index, and their 3 grams of fiber per ounce help stabilize blood glucose, a crucial factor for the 1 in 4 seniors with diabetes or prediabetes. What about satiety and portion control? Here's where pistachios shine in a surprising way. Their natural shells create a built-in pause button for eating. Studies have shown that people who snack on in-shell pistachios consume 41% fewer calories than those eating shelled ones, without feeling less satisfied. This is incredibly helpful for seniors trying to manage their weight without counting every calorie. And there's a tactile bonus. Shelling pistachios provides gentle hand movement and mental engagement, a kind of low-key, mindful activity that supports cognitive function and fine motor control. How to eat pistachios for maximum benefit after 65. Stick to 1 ounce, around 49 pistachios, daily. Choose unsalted or lightly salted varieties to protect heart health. Opt for in-shell pistachios to encourage slower eating and improve digestion. Look for varieties with partially opened shells if you have arthritis or joint pain. Their vibrant green and purple colors aren't just pretty, they indicate the presence of antioxidants working hard to fight oxidative stress and protect your aging cells. So far, we've talked about bones, brains, blood vessels, and eyes. But there's one often ignored organ that regulates all of those systems. And there's a nut specially suited to support it. If you felt more tired lately, struggled with low energy, slower metabolism, or unexplained shifts in mood, your thyroid could be the silent culprit. And there's one nut that delivers a powerful natural remedy that most people overlook: the Brazil nut. Tiny in size, but mighty in impact, Brazil nuts are the most concentrated natural source of selenium on Earth. Just one single nut contains over 103% of your daily selenium requirement. This trace mineral is essential for the healthy production and conversion of thyroid hormones, which regulate everything from body temperature and metabolism to memory and emotional balance. After age 60, many people begin to show signs of hypothyroidism. Fatigue, weight gain, depression, brittle nails, thinning hair, all commonly misattributed to just aging. Yet nearly 1 in 5 seniors has an undiagnosed thyroid issue. Supporting your thyroid naturally with selenium could help you reclaim the energy and sharpness you thought was gone for good. But selenium does more than energize. It also supports your immune system, fights inflammation, and may protect against cognitive decline. In fact, recent research suggests that Brazil nuts may help preserve telomeres, the protective caps at the end of chromosomes, which shorten as we age and are linked to longevity. Brazil nuts are also rich in healthy fats, which help with the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. Their creamy texture makes them highly satisfying in small portions, reducing the urge to overeat. They even support digestive health. Thanks to their natural oils and fiber, Brazil nuts can gently ease constipation, a common issue for seniors that affects nutrient absorption and overall vitality. How to eat Brazil nuts safely after 65. Just 1 to 2 Brazil nuts per day is enough. More can lead to selenium toxicity. Choose nuts in their shell when possible. They stay fresh longer and avoid oxidation. Store them in the refrigerator, as their delicate oils go rancid easily at room temperature. Avoid salted or candied versions, which can undermine their natural health benefits. Too much selenium can be harmful, so moderation is key. But in the right amount, Brazil nuts offer a simple, effective way to rebalance a critical hormone system that affects every aspect of how you feel. We've covered the heroes, but now it's time to meet the villains. Not all nuts support your health. Some quietly raise blood pressure, interfere with medications, or even damage liver and brain cells. They're familiar, affordable, and found in nearly every pantry. But despite their popularity, peanuts might be one of the riskiest choices for adults over 65, especially if you're dealing with joint pain, blood pressure issues, or cognitive concerns. First, let's clarify something important. Peanuts are not true nuts. They're legumes, And because they grow underground, they're highly susceptible to mold contamination, especially by a toxic compound called aflatoxin. Aflatoxins have been linked to liver damage, increased cancer risk, and may place added strain on your body's detoxification systems that naturally slow with age. That alone would be reason for caution. But it doesn't stop there. Peanuts are also high in omega-6 fatty acids, which can fuel chronic inflammation when consumed in excess, particularly when the diet is already low in omega-3s, as is common among seniors. Inflammation is a root driver of conditions like arthritis, heart disease, and even neurodegeneration. To make matters worse, peanuts contain proteins that can trigger subtle immune responses in the body, even in people without diagnosed allergies. This means your morning peanut butter toast could be quietly worsening joint stiffness, digestive issues, or mental fog, especially if consumed daily. For seniors taking blood thinners like warfarin, peanuts add another layer of risk. They contain vitamin K, which can interfere with medication absorption and affect clotting. Many doctors overlook this interaction, but it can impact treatment outcomes. Even the way peanuts are prepared adds to the problem. Most are dry roasted, a process that can form acrylamide, a compound linked to accelerated aging and cognitive decline. Store-bought peanut butter often includes hydrogenated oils, excess sodium, and added sugars, ingredients that work directly against your cardiovascular and metabolic health. If that weren't enough, peanuts are calorie-dense, easy to overeat, and their smooth texture makes them one of the most aspiration-prone foods for seniors with swallowing issues. How to reduce risks from peanuts after 65. If you enjoy peanuts, limit them to once or twice per week and monitor your body's response. Choose organic, unsalted, and aflatoxin-tested varieties if possible. Avoid commercial peanut butter with added sugar, salt, or oils. Consider replacing them with almonds, walnuts, or pistachios, which provide anti-inflammatory benefits. Peanuts may seem harmless, but for older adults, they can be a slow-burning trigger for issues that worsen over time. If you've been consuming them regularly without concern, now might be the moment to rethink your habit. While peanuts stir inflammation, the next nut on our list could be spiking your blood sugar without warning, especially dangerous for the 1 in 4 seniors with prediabetes or diabetes. They're smooth, buttery, and delicious. Cashews have long enjoyed a health halo, appearing in trail mixes, plant-based recipes, and dairy-free cheese substitutes. But for older adults, especially those concerned with blood sugar, digestion, and bone health, cashews may be hiding a darker side. Unlike many tree nuts, cashews have a higher carbohydrate content, approximately 9 grams per ounce, and a lower fiber content, which makes them more likely to trigger a rapid spike in blood glucose. For the nearly 25% of Americans over 65 with diabetes and the additional 48% with prediabetes, this can be a serious concern. The problem isn't just in the sugar spike, it's in the illusion. Because cashews are marketed as heart-healthy and vegan-friendly, many older adults eat them frequently and in large amounts, unaware of how quickly those carbs add up. Over time, this can contribute to insulin resistance, weight gain, and erratic energy levels. But the risks go deeper. Cashews are high in oxalates, natural compounds that bind to calcium in the digestive tract and block its absorption. For seniors already at risk of osteoporosis, this can accelerate bone thinning, especially when calcium intake is marginal. They also pose a physical safety concern. Their curved, slippery shape makes them one of the most aspirated nuts, meaning they're more likely to be accidentally inhaled during eating, which can be dangerous for seniors with dysphagia, swallowing difficulties. From a digestive standpoint, cashews contain enzyme inhibitors that can make protein harder to break down. Since many older adults already experience lower stomach acid and slower digestion, cashews may lead to bloating or interfere with nutrient absorption, especially when eaten in larger amounts. Even how cashews are processed is problematic. To be edible, raw cashews must be steamed or roasted at high heat to eliminate urushiol, the same skin-irritating compound found in poison ivy. This intense processing can damage their nutrients. Add to that the fact that most commercial cashews are oil roasted and heavily salted, and their health value drops even further. How to minimize cashew risk after 65. Eat cashews sparingly, no more than a small handful once or twice a week. Opt for dry roasted, unsalted varieties to avoid hidden fats and sodium. Avoid eating cashews alone. Pair with protein or fiber to reduce glucose impact. If you have osteoporosis risk, kidney stones, or blood sugar concerns, consider skipping cashews altogether in favor of lower-carb nuts like almonds or pecans. They might taste indulgent, but for aging bodies with sensitive metabolism, cashews can be more of a trap than a treat. What cashews do to blood sugar, the next nut might do to your cholesterol and your gallbladder. High in fat, high in calories, and surprisingly risky, it's time to take a closer look. There's no denying it, macadamia nuts are rich, creamy, and indulgent, but behind their luxurious taste lies a nutritional profile that could spell trouble for older adults. If you're over 65 and working to manage your weight, cholesterol, or gallbladder health, macadamias may not be the healthy fat friend they're often advertised to be. With approximately 200 calories per ounce and an astonishing 22 grams of fat, macadamias rank among the most calorie-dense nuts available. And while much of this fat is monounsaturated, generally considered heart-healthy, the sheer volume can overload a slowing metabolism, a common reality in later life. Here's the issue. As we age, our metabolic rate decreases and fat digestion becomes less efficient, especially for those with reduced gallbladder function. An estimated 15% of older adults have asymptomatic gallstones, and eating fat-rich foods like macadamias can trigger painful episodes, indigestion, or nausea. What's more, macadamias contain saturated fat, around 3 grams per ounce, which can increase LDL cholesterol levels when consumed regularly. For seniors already managing high cholesterol, hypertension, or heart disease, this can compound cardiovascular risk. Dentally, macadamias are also very dense and hard, posing challenges for anyone with bridges, crowns, or weakened enamel. Biting into a whole macadamia could easily lead to discomfort or even damage. And here's something most people miss. Macadamias are expensive, which often leads budget-conscious shoppers to choose lower-quality, pre-roasted, heavily salted versions that may be rancid or contain harmful oxidized fats. These not only undermine their nutritional value, but also increase free radical exposure, accelerating cellular aging. Lastly, the rich, buttery taste of macadamias makes them easy to overeat, especially for seniors with reduced taste sensitivity. What starts as a few nuts can quickly become a few handfuls, pushing daily fat and calorie intake far beyond what's healthy. How to handle macadamias after 65. If you enjoy them, limit to 5 to 6 nuts occasionally, not daily. Choose raw, unsalted varieties and store in the fridge to avoid rancidity. Avoid pre-roasted or oil-coated versions, especially those with added flavorings. Skip entirely if you have gallbladder issues, high LDL, or are actively trying to lose weight. Macadamias aren't inherently bad, but they're too rich, too concentrated, and too easy to misuse in aging diets. For many seniors, the risks outweigh the creamy reward. You've heard of nuts affecting your heart, your sugar, and your digestion. But what if a tiny seed could interfere with your medications, cause a metallic taste, and worsen inflammation? Without warning, they may be small and often hidden inside pesto or sprinkled on gourmet salads, but pine nuts can create surprisingly big problems for older adults. If you're over 65 and taking any medications or have noticed changes in taste, digestion, or inflammation, this seemingly innocent nut could be more disruptive than helpful. The first and most concerning issue? Drug interactions. Pine nuts contain natural compounds that may interact with over 60% of commonly prescribed medications for seniors, including blood pressure drugs, statins, and certain antidepressants. These interactions can reduce the effectiveness of your medication or increase the risk of side effects without you realizing the source. Many healthcare providers don't routinely warn about this, yet studies are beginning to raise red flags about the bioactive oils in pine nuts and their effects on liver enzymes that metabolize medications. Even more alarming is a rare but increasingly reported condition called pine nut syndrome. After consuming pine nuts, especially ones from certain regions, some people develop a metallic, bitter taste in their mouth that can last for days or even weeks. While this might sound like a minor annoyance, for seniors, it can lead to loss of appetite, reduced nutrient intake, and even unintentional weight loss. This is especially dangerous for anyone already facing frailty or undernourishment. There's also the issue of oxidation. Pine nuts are high in polyunsaturated fats, which oxidize quickly, especially if the nuts aren't stored properly. Once oxidized, these fats can promote inflammation in the body and contribute to the progression of conditions like arthritis, cardiovascular disease, and cognitive decline. Physically, their tiny size and slick texture make pine nuts a choking risk, particularly for those with dry mouth, a side effect of many medications, or swallowing difficulties, which affect up to 70% of seniors on multiple prescriptions. And although they're calorie-dense like most nuts, the problem with pine nuts is that they don't satisfy hunger as effectively, leading to over-snacking and calorie overload. This can make weight management harder, especially when metabolism is already slowing down. Emerging research also suggests that certain compounds in pine nuts may contribute to the progression of age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss in seniors. While more data is needed, this early evidence adds another layer of caution. How to stay safe with pine nuts after 65. If you're on medications, avoid pine nuts entirely unless approved by your doctor. Never eat them in large quantities. A sprinkle is safer than a handful. Refrigerate or freeze to reduce oxidation. If you experience a metallic taste, stop eating them and consult a healthcare professional. Consider replacing pine nuts in recipes with safer options like sunflower seeds or chopped walnuts. Pine nuts may look elegant, but for the aging body, they bring a mix of risk, unpredictability, and complication, especially when medication safety and appetite preservation matter most. We've revealed the best and worst nuts after 65. But now, let's bring it all together, with simple steps, smart swaps, and a clear plan for building your nut routine wisely and safely. You've now uncovered the full story: 4 nuts that support your health after 65, and 4 that may quietly work against it. What you choose to snack on each day matters more than you think, because by this stage in life, every bite is either protecting or weakening your future. But the good news? The path forward doesn't require dramatic diets or giving up the foods you enjoy. It just takes awareness, moderation, and a few smart habits that can transform your nut routine into a daily dose of protection for your brain, bones, heart, vision, and vitality. Here's how to put it all together. 1. Prioritize the Power 4. Keep almonds, walnuts, pistachios, and Brazil nuts in regular rotation. Each brings unique benefits, from bone strength and better sleep to sharper memory and improved circulation. Small daily servings: 15 to 20 almonds, 7 to 9 walnut halves, 1 ounce of pistachios, and 1-2 Brazil nuts are more than enough. Number 2. Be mindful of the risky 4. Peanuts, cashews, macadamias, and pine nuts aren't off limits, but they're not ideal staples for seniors. Their effects on inflammation, blood sugar, cholesterol, and medication safety make them better as rare indulgences than everyday choices. Number 3. Focus on freshness and form. Always choose unsalted, raw, or dry roasted nuts. Avoid oil-roasted, flavored, or overly processed versions. Store nuts in the refrigerator or freezer to prevent rancidity and preserve healthy fats. 4. Pair nuts with purpose. Combine your nut intake with fruits, vegetables, or lean proteins to balance blood sugar and improve digestion. Nuts are powerful, but they work best in harmony with other nutrient-rich foods. Room 5. Check in with your body. Notice how you feel after eating certain nuts. If you experience bloating, fatigue, brain fog, or changes in digestion, adjust. Your body is talking. The key: 6. Talk to your doctor or nutritionist. Bring this guide with you to your next appointment. Ask about potential drug-nut interactions, especially if you're on multiple medications. A quick review could prevent long-term complications. 7. Snack with intention, not habit. Instead of reaching mindlessly for whatever's in the pantry, pause and ask, will this snack support the life I want to live? That simple question can shift your health trajectory day by day. Remember, after 65, the small things become the big things. A few smart choices with something as simple as nuts can add energy, mobility, clarity, and joy to your daily life. You deserve to feel strong, to move with confidence, to wake up with clarity and rest well at night. And with a wiser nut routine, you're already one step closer. Now that you know the truth about what's in your snack bowl, are you ready to take the next step? Let's reflect and take back control, one mindful bite at a time. You've come a long way. From the strength-building almonds to the cognitive-protecting walnuts, from the healing powers of pistachios and Brazil nuts to the hidden dangers of peanuts, cashews, macadamias, and pine nuts, what you now carry is wisdom, not just information. And with that wisdom comes power, the power to choose with purpose, to eat with confidence, and to live with more energy, clarity, and stability than ever before. This guide isn't just about nuts, it's about reclaiming control. It's about realizing that even the smallest changes, a handful of the right nuts, one less of the wrong, can lead to massive improvements in how you feel, move, think, and age. If you've ever felt like your body was slipping away, that your strength was fading, or that your choices didn't matter anymore, know this: it's not too late, not even close. The body is always responding, always listening, and every day you make a new choice, you send a message to your future self. I'm here, I care, and I'm not giving up. Let this guide be a starting point, not a rule book, but a reminder that your health is worth protecting. You are worth protecting, so start small. Clear out a snack jar, refill it with intention. Begin your day with one smart swap, and little by little, you'll notice the change, not just in your body, but in how you carry yourself. Next steps: have a conversation with your doctor about selenium, omega-3s, or medications affected by food. Try one new nut this week, just one, and observe how it makes you feel. Share this knowledge with someone you care about. It might be the nudge they need. And when you do, you're not just eating better, you're aging better. Because strength isn't just about muscles, it's about knowing what your body needs and giving it with love and intention. Thank you for walking this journey with me to more vibrant days, sharper minds, and stronger steps ahead. You've earned them.